If you're in a couple, you're already in a threesome. Don't trust my math? How about now? No? In this video, I'm going to explore all the incredible ways that monogamous couples can strengthen and spice up their relationship by learning more about consensual non-monogamy without ever opening up their relationship. Thanks for watching. I'm Iseman, a relationship coach and certified communication specialist with a focus in open relating. Whether you choose to open up your relationship to include other people, or you just open up more authentically to each other, I want you to open up without blowing up. This channel shares all the lessons that I've learned the hard way, so you don't have to. So what can monogamous couples learn from consensual non-monogamy? Turns out, quite a lot. When two become one is a common way to describe romantic relationships, at least in Disney movies and rom-coms. But it's actually more accurate to say when two become three. And I'm not talking about soft pregnancy launches on Instagram. A relationship is really just an agreement between two people. But in every relationship, there are actually three parties: you, your partner, and the relationship itself. Each of them deserve just as much attention and effort as the other. The idea that two become one robs us of our individuality. It erases our own needs, desires, and boundaries. Our relationship isn't a vat of denial into which we both disappear. It's an agreement structure that we create together. It should support both of our needs, desires, and boundaries as we grow and change over time. Disney movies and rom-coms always end at the beginning of the relationship. So what does it take to create a real happily ever after? The problem all modern relationships face. Society assumes that one, we have parents, and two, that they must have given us all the relationship and communication skills we need to relate well with each other. Newsflash, the stats and data tell a different story. Most of us aren't taught any real relationship skills growing up, and many of us continue this way for the majority of our lives. If you pay attention to the news or are literally ever online, it's pretty clear we live in a dramatically polarized world. How we relate is how we relate at any scale. Our world is divided because our relationships are divided. So many couples are adversaries in their own home, pitted against each other in a battle that no one wins. What have you done for me lately? You're not satisfying my needs. You're too much. You're not enough. This tit for tat 50-50 mentality is what is created by the lie of you versus me. When a relationship is seen as a place where two people merge into one, so much gets ignored. It might be easier to sweep uncomfortable things under the status quo rug, but that can quickly turn into a monster under the bed. Has anything important in your life ever gotten better by ignoring it? I don't know about you, but earlier in life, that strategy landed me in the ER on more than one occasion. Emotional wounds and relational discomforts are the same. If we don't want to end up in the relationship ER seemingly out of nowhere, then catching things before they develop into something untreatable is key. Being uncomfortable is okay. It's not the same thing as being unsafe. Being uncomfortable in a safe space is how we grow. It's impossible to grow without discomfort. Think of it like the gym. The weights are always heavy, and they always will be. It's uncomfortable to work out, but the more often you go, the bigger the weights get. The gym is the safe container within which you practice building physical strength to make everything else easier. Your relationship can be your emotional gym to practice building emotional resilience for all the things that life throws your way. The only way to do that is to create our relationship as a safe container within which we can practice getting uncomfortable. So what is a safe container? What does a safe container mean? To transform our relationships into safe containers, we require two things: radical honesty and authenticity. Let's clarify what radical honesty and authenticity mean beyond the overused hashtags. Radical honesty involves being completely transparent about your thoughts and feelings, while authenticity is about staying true to who you are and your values through your words and actions in all of your relationships. Imagine you want to talk to your partner about potentially opening up your relationship, and you realize everything that's on the line. The status quo of compulsory monogamy would have you ignore that until it festers into resentment, causing you to end the relationship unnecessarily or act out of integrity by lying or cheating. Radical honesty with authenticity would be saying, I'm curious to explore consensual non-monogamy with you, and I'm also really nervous about what that might mean and scared about what might happen. We need both for true intimacy to thrive. The National Institute for Health states, relationship quality depends on beliefs about a partner's responsiveness, that a partner understands, values, and supports important aspects of oneself. The only way that our partner can do that is if we know and can authentically share with them those aspects of ourselves. Further research from the National Library of Medicine suggests that people in consensually non-monogamous dynamics tend to feel closer to their partners and are often better at expressing intimacy. Many of us want to grow and learn more about ourselves through our relationships. Others give in to fear and stick with what's known, even if it's making them miserable. I don't know about you, but I'd like to learn more from what's already being done well. It doesn't matter what kind of relationship dynamic you choose, monogamy, polyamory, open relationships, or any other form of non-monogamy. What matters is that it's a choice. Even terminology like non-monogamy versus monogamy, traditional versus alternative relationships still relies on a you versus me mentality and keeps us separated. What we need is to open up the conversation to include all relationship dynamics, because all kinds of relationships can benefit from learning the inclusive relationship skills required by multi-partner dynamics. What I'm saying is, even if you choose monogamy, you can still strengthen your connection with your partner and deepen your intimacy by learning about consensual non-monogamy, even if you never open up your relationship. According to Psychology Today, individuals in non-monogamous relationships experience greater satisfaction and commitment than their monogamous counterparts, boasting more openness and need fulfillment than conventional relationships. As much as we'd love to think that giving our relationship a label, whether it's married, exclusive, or even situationship, our relationship security doesn't come from the label itself. Secure relationships are built by secure experiences repeated over time, no matter the label. Following are 5 of the most important things that we can all learn from consensual non-monogamy to help make our relationship a safe container in which we can learn, play, and grow. We have to be able to fuck up. Mistakes are the way we learn. It's uncomfortable, but true. Repeating the same mistakes over and over, even after talking about it, is a pattern. That's a behavioral issue that can cause a lack of safety, and it needs to be addressed. Boundaries aren't walls. They're the edges of our comfort zone. They are designed to be pushed consensually within the container of a safe relationship in order for us to grow. Being curious and leading with questions frames any relationship conversation as an invitation rather than a threat. Feeling uncomfortable is not the same thing as feeling unsafe. Expanding your capacity to sit in your discomfort will improve every aspect of your life, from love to health, work to family. So how do we create this almighty safe container? My friends at Aria, an AI-powered sexual wellness platform, recently released their inaugural State of Intimacy report. Aria uses AI to understand a couple's intimacy goals before providing advice, recommending activities, and even shipping them a fantasy package curated by their in-house sexologists. This first-of-its-kind report sampled over 6,000 recent users in different gender relationships about the state of intimacy and sex in their relationships. The top 3 desires were making sex more adventurous, learning each other's kinks and sexual desires, and extending and experimenting with foreplay. In order to have safe adventures, learn about each other, and experiment, our relationship has to be a safe container. But what does that even mean? It means we have to be able to get messy and keep moving forward. Here are 5 practical things that you can do to cultivate your relationship as a safe container. Number 1, create a shared language. Break down the compound meanings in your life and relationship and define terms for yourself and then together. That way, you're able to speak the same language and understand each other when you're not. The biggest and most common compound meaning that I see couples experience is around these 3 terms: love, sex, and commitment. Those are actually not synonyms. Build specific definitions for these and other important terms in your relationship together so you have a shared language. Do weekly check-ins. Set aside time each week to talk openly and non-confrontationally about your feelings, any concerns, and positive aspects of the relationship. Use I statements about your experience rather than accusatory language. This regular practice can help prevent misunderstandings and strengthen your connection. Choose gratitude. I know, it sounds woo-woo, but incorporating gratitude into your routine by regularly acknowledging and appreciating each other's efforts can be a game changer, not only for your emotional connection, but your physical intimacy as well. A simple exercise is to share one thing you're grateful for about your partner each day. Remember, them being with you is a daily decision, a choice that they're making. Acknowledge and show you appreciate them making that choice. Embrace vulnerability. Practice vulnerability by sharing your fears and insecurities with your partner and owning your mistakes. boundaries. Start with small, manageable disclosures and gradually build up to more significant conversations. This practice can deepen your emotional intimacy and trust. Make jealousy your BFF. In consensually non-monogamous relationships, partners often work through feelings of jealousy by discussing them openly and honestly as they arise, rather than letting them fester. There's nothing wrong with the green-eyed monster coming to visit. It's more important how you deal with it. Jealousy is just giving you information, powerful information. When understood, jealousy can be your most powerful ally in personal growth and self-development. I had never experienced jealousy until I was in my first non-monogamous relationship. Now I know how to use it like a tool so it doesn't turn me into one. It might seem counterintuitive, but having a safe relationship means feeling uncomfortable. Pushing boundaries and making mistakes is uncomfortable. When our bodies, minds, and hearts don't know the difference between unsafe and uncomfortable, we retreat. If we build our relationship as a safe container, meaning we can fuck up without blowing up, we can start experiencing the difference. The three-part apology. Name it, claim it, and reframe it. Try the three-part apology when there is a specific point of conflict and repair is needed. Part 1, name it. Describe what happened and acknowledge your involvement in its causation. Part 2, claim it. Own the impact that your actions had on the person or people that you're speaking to. Part 3, reframe it. State clearly new actions that you're going to take or ones that you're going to stop to prevent this from happening again. Then we can start turning obstacles into opportunities for personal growth and deeper intimacy. There are few things more intimate than getting safely uncomfortable together. Uncomfortable means you're growing. And what's sexier than that? Now that you're working for your relationship should start working for you. Whether you choose to open up your relationship to include other people, or you just want to open up more authentically to each other, you can use inclusive relationship dynamics to open up without blowing up. If we all have better relationships that last longer, we'll have a better world that lasts longer. So let's break out of default mode and build better relationships by design. If you're curious to upgrade your intimacy with Aria's AI Advantage, backed by a team of professional sexologists, use my special code to get a discount at the link in the resources section in the video description below. And be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you'll get a heads up every time I release a new video about inclusive relationship dynamics.